one of the things that I think was kind of concerned that this guy like flagged up is basically, you know, are these glasses a scam?
Hello, our friends.
Hello.
Now, this video is sort of addressing, I don't want to say drama, but I just want us to share our opinions on the whole, are the colourblind glasses a scam? Are they fake? Do they work? Don't they? Because I feel like everyone's opinion and experience with them, from what we've seen, because we've done a bit of research as well, and watched the main big video that says that they are a scam.
We'll have to put a link to that. So
oh yes, we'll put a link to it as well. There's some things that I do agree with in that video, if I'm honest. Because there are some things that are very true. We want to run through them and just share our experience, or my experience with them, because I'm the person that wears them. And just do like a stuff that we agree with and disagree with, kind of, if that makes sense. Is that cool with you, dear?
Mm-hmm. I'm here for moral support.
Oh, thank God.
And a good time.
and a good time? What's that supposed to be? Now, the first thing that I want to cover is the fact that we were never sponsored by Enchroma, which is oh my God, let me just tell you the story, right? When Enchroma became like quite a popular thing back in like 2017-18, they were sending out glasses for free to people to make videos with on social media.
Quite a few people as well.
Quite a few people, actually. And I thought, you know what, I'll send an email to them and I'll see what they say and hopefully make a video. I sent them an email. The next day they said no. And they said, and they said no twice. So the first time round when we did the outdoor video, we actually bought them ourselves. We went out of our own pocket to buy them for ourselves. So I think I said in the video at the time that if they didn't work, I was going to tell you because it was so expensive.
Yeah, it was so much money.
And the second time we filmed them with the indoor glasses, we had a very kind patron who funded those for us. So, you know, a huge thank you to you guys in our community. Withermore, I believe it was. Yeah, so thank you. So we just wanted to clear the air with that and like how we got them, because in terms of like product placement and working with Enchroma, we tried, but they said no. Which I think worked in our favour in a way, because I didn't want to, you know, lie or say they were better than they were. And I hope that came across in the videos that we did at the time. I mean, we'll get into this properly as well, but for me personally, yes, they did kind of work, but also they didn't kind of work, and I'll get into that as well. I have protanopia, which is not a super severe one, but it's a type of colour blindness. You don't know, that's where you have certain cones in your eyes missing, which prevents you from perceiving certain colours. And some tinted glasses can't fix that. Colour blindness doesn't have a cure.
Yeah, so I feel like this is probably where a lot of people had like different expectations, maybe when like first going into that video.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because when those glasses first came about, I think it was me who first told Adam about them, and I was like, oh my God, there's these glasses that can supposedly help with like colour blindness.
Yes, I remember, yeah.
And I was like, but oh crap, they're like £200 to £300. That's a lot of money, especially for us to like invest, because that's like half our rent. I wanted to do quite a lot of research on them first before going into it, so I could sort of manage my expectations, because that's a lot of money. I'm not going to just throw £300 at something.
It's a lot of money to anybody. No, it really is.
So when I looked into it, one of the things that I definitely did start to see is that there were quite a few people where as soon as they put the glasses on, they were like, I can't see a difference. And
that's
it
valid,
actually took them like a good few like hours for some of them, and we mentioned that in the beginning of the video.
Yeah, because they don't work straight away for me either.
That was something that at the time we had a lot of people yelling at us, saying that some people's reactions to these glasses are like fake or. But I know that it was something that was like contested with people.
Yeah, exactly. But no two people have the same pair of eyes, so it's gonna be different.
It's gonna
for
like vary quite a bit. But basically, the way that these glasses work from the research that I did is that they can like boost certain colours,
which is what I think
they can kind of like dull other colours. Now, bear in mind, I'm a colour-sighted person, and I tried on those glasses. And they were definitely doing things to colours. Like, it's not like I was suddenly like a bee with like UV vision and I was seeing new colours I've never seen before.
Because that's not what they do. No.
It was definitely doing things that played around with like the contrast. That's the best way that I can.
That's how I
like,
think
the saturation was.
That's how I think they work too.
So typically with Adam's colour blindness, he struggles with like red-green colour blindness. past.
Which is why I was so, like, super taken back by, if you guys have seen the video, by those leaves.
The leaves,
the red and
yeah.
green leaves, yeah, because I struggle to tell the difference between reds and greens. And with these, I'm going to call them tinted glasses, because that's basically what the Enchroma glasses are. They have like a tinted film on them. So when I'd worn these for about, it was probably about half an hour to an hour, because we were outside and it was super bright, which apparently is like the best conditions to use these with. And we were walking along and I noticed for the first time, I'm not saying that I necessarily saw it for the first time, but for the first time I saw a stark contrast between the two. Yeah, exactly.
So basically there was this bush that he always walked past, and there was like bright green and bright red leaves there. And this was like the first time where his brain sort of made that association that there's like two different types of leaves there, because for him, for the longest time,
I thought it was just one.
They were both like the same colour, or like torn, or
it just sort of all like mushed together kind of.
Yeah. So an example that I want to quickly throw in is, because me and my friends have been talking about like colour blindness, like sharing like images and information and stuff, and there's an image I want to put on screen which is of some Crayola markers.
Okay.
And then it also shows these same Crayola markers through a protanopia filter, which is the same type of colour blindness.
It's like how I
Adam
would see
has.
them.
And it's interesting because when you actually compare these, you can see how red and green are like mistaken for one another. Because like to a colour-sighted person, that's like, how could you mistake?
It's like night and day. Yeah. Well, apparently.
Yeah. It's like like I compared it before to sort of like blue and yellow. It's like confusing how you could confuse a blue from a yellow.
No, not for me anyway.
Whereas like from looking at this like example, you can see how like red and green are more in the same colour family, and it's like if I showed you just the protanopia one and you had to guess like which colour each of these individual markers is, you'd struggle.
Yeah, welcome to my world.
Yeah, so that's to give you like a bit of an insight into what was going on.
Exactly, yeah, and that's how it was covered in that video, and I 100% agree with it. It's boosting a contrast in some to help you see what you struggle with, but it definitely lowers the contrast on ones that you wouldn't have a problem with anyway.
There's a huge like conversation to be had about cures versus aids.
Yeah, like help.
I feel like these glasses, they were like an aid that can help someone who is colourblind.
Absolutely.
They are not a cure for colourblindness.
Yeah, they should. Like when I wore them for the first time, it was still like a really cool experience. Like I wasn't like, oh, praise Jesus, I'm cured or anything like that. It was just a cool experience to have and perceive things that you normally wouldn't. Like on sunny days, I'll still go out wearing them and look at the sky and stuff, and it's still nice. I'm still aware that I'm colourblind, but it's still just a nice different point of view, you know, to see basically.
So one of the questions that we've had quite frequently is, how come Adam doesn't wear those glasses all the time?
Because they hurt. Well, they hurt for two reasons. One, they only sell them in one size, and I've got a bit of a fat head, so if I wear them for too long, you guys will know if you wear any kind of glasses in general, you know, like when you've worn glasses like all day and you feel like a pinch on the side by your ears. And also if you wear headphones, because when I'm editing and stuff, obviously I've got headphones on and they push down.
Yeah, I struggle with that.
Not only that, but if I wear them for like maybe 2 to 3 hours, and let me know if you guys have ever worn them and have experience with it. After about 2 or 3 hours, my eyes actually start to ache, and I don't know whether that's like them trying to adjust to what they're seeing like now when I'm wearing them because it's not used to it, or maybe the tint is just harmful, which would be really bad.
Well,
but like it starts to hurt.
My theory is that if you think the closest thing that we probably have a comparison to for like sighted people is sunglasses, and sunglasses have like a certain purpose where you use
they have like a UV filter.
Yeah, when you're out in like really bright sunlight, which is when these actually work at the best.
And the Enchroma glasses don't provide UV protection either, by the way, so don't wear them as sunglasses. Because they won't work.
I'm basically saying is that because they've got like a darker filter lens that you're looking through, I think that can be like a strain on your eyes over time, because obviously...
Oh yes, absolutely,
if I was to sit and wear like sunglasses all day while I'm sat inside like the house and like drawing and stuff, I do think that would be like really fatiguing on my eyes.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
I think I'd get like a pretty bad headache from it.
Yeah, I know bad headaches from using them. Again, for about 2 to 3 hours, around there, is when your eyes start to... They just feel sore, you know, like like you've been focusing on something for a really... Say if you've been reading for a really long time and your eyes get tired, it's like that kind of feeling.
One of the things that I think was kind of concerned that this guy, like, flagged up is basically, you know, are these glasses a scam? And obviously, in a sense of the word, you can say that they're an aid, just like how, like, my glasses, they're not curing my eyesight right now, but they are allowing me to...
They're helping you see.
They're helping me see things better than what I could otherwise. But I think the most horrifying thing is that this guy who did this interview, he actually managed to talk to, like, one of the scientists. If you didn't know, he actually was a colourblind guy who was conducting this, so that's what got me interested in watching it, because
yeah,
I see
he's
sometimes
colourblind as
people
well.
who aren't colourblind talking about them, and I'm like, it's not a first-hand, like, experience, it's like an opinion or whatever.
Those colour typicals.
The colour typicals. But yeah, seeing that this guy actually had colour blindness, I was interested to see, like, his thoughts on it, and he did, like, some deep research. He talked to, like, the people who basically
who helped develop them. It's a really, really good video, really good.
And he basically shows a piece of, like, red, like, film, and he compares it to, like, the glasses.
And it does the same thing!
Yeah, it does the same thing.
The glasses are £300 and this red piece of film that cost like $2 from Hobby Lobby, it does the same thing! I couldn't believe it!
I think that's why we're mostly, like, horrified, because we've invested a lot of, like, our own money into those glasses, and then there's also one of our patrons that even helped, like, invest in the
and that makes me
indoor
so
ones
cross, yeah. So in our next video, join us when we go to Hobby Lobby to make our own Enchroma glasses for like $3.
Yeah, because apparently the glasses frames that they use, those are actually, like, really cheap ones off something like AliExpress or whatever.
Yeah.
You can get, like, drop shipped. Allegedly, anyway, this is...
Yeah, we don't want to get sued. This is all alleged, by the way. Allegedly.
Something that's also a good thing to touch on is that comparing Adam's experience to, like, other colourblind people's experience.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Adam's not the average colourblind user experience.
I'm not like other colourblind boys.
He's not. He's different.
What do you mean by that? No.
Okay, so what I mean by that is that Adam, since a very young age, clearly he's, like, an artist. And I feel like a lot of people who are colourblind, they get told that they don't see colour properly, and then they just sort of go, like, and sort of give up.
You know,
with
whatever. It is what it is.
Like, oh, well, I'm colourblind, so what's the point in even trying, kind of thing.
Yes.
Whereas Adam's told me quite a few times that when he was a kid, he used to sit and, like, revise, like, he'd look at red and then he'd look at green and he'd be, like, looking for minuscule differences.
It's like my dad, when I was a kid, he used to play snooker, and there's red balls and there's one brown one, and my dad would be like, oh, can you help me set up the balls to play? And I'm like, okay, Dad. So I'd set them all up and I'd put the brown in with the reds, and he's like, oh, you silly Billy, you've put the brown in, just put the brown over there for me. And I'd be staring, because, like, when you play snooker, they're in, like, a triangle of red balls, and I'm staring at this triangle and I can't see the red one, and I'm just like, Dad, where is it? It's like, it's right there. It's like, and I just can't see it. So I'd, like, try and train myself, and even now I would get things mixed up. Like, I've streamed in the past, because we stream every week. We stream 3 times a week on Twitch, by the way. And I'll do digital stuff, and I'll be colouring something in that I think's pink, and I'll be like, oh, look at this cute pink that I found, guys. And it's great, you know,
so
it's
this is
hard.
something that I wanted to touch on, because with Adam's type of colour blindness, the most common mistakes that you'll see in protanopia is, like, red and green. That's why it's typically called red and green colour blindness. Yes. But I feel like red and green is actually one of the ones that Adam these days struggles, like, not as much with. It happens sometimes.
Oh, yes.
But nowhere near, like, as often as what it does with other colours, which is interesting.
Yeah,
so,
grey and pink is notorious.
Grey and pink. I've got a picture that I want to put up on screen to show as an example, because he kept drawing the guinea pig's nose as grey instead of pink. And I was thinking, like, I don't understand how you could confuse these two colours. And I ran it through a protanopia filter, which I will put up on screen, and you'll see how, like, pink and grey in this instance, how would you tell them apart if you...
To me, it looks perfect,
like
right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was having a great time.
It completely makes sense once you can see it through.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Kind of filter
yeah,
and
and again, that's like the protanopia filter that Steph, like, uses. Again, is sort of like a general thing, because I have protanopia and like Steve down the road or whatever has protanopia. That'll still be different. They won't be exactly the same.
Yeah, there's like
everybody's
mild and
is different.
severe. Now, on like the more severe spectrum, there's apparently people who can basically just see in like grayscale.
Yes.
And this is what upsets me most, I think, about like all this marketing stuff, is that these glasses were being sold to people who have complete black and white, like colour blindness.
Yes, that's true.
And it's a product that should never have been sold to them because it can't
It won't
do anything for them.
No, it won't do a single thing, and that's disgusting. Like £300.
That's a lot of money to take from people who are essentially like have a disability. And I've seen there's a lot of people who've been angry at colourblind people on the internet as though it's like a witch hunt or something. And that makes my heart hurt because they're people who've been scammed in this like situation for the most part.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah,
the average person went out and paid for like these glasses.
It is
themselves.
disgusting that they would try and market to them to people that can only see black and white and grey tones, because it won't do a thing. And £300, I think you guys can agree, regardless of where you live or where you're from. That's a lot of money, you know, to put down on something that you've been lied to about. Whether it be like a health thing, some glasses, whatever you spend £300 on these days is a lot of money.
And then the fact that people with disabilities have tried to upcharge them like $200. So
yeah, it's like, oh, you already have a disadvantage? Well, now you're $300 disadvantage too. Thanks, Enchroma, gee.
But yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring up Adam not being like a typical colourblind person is that if someone watched that video and then they thought like, oh, I want to get these because I want to have the exact same experience as like what Adam does.
Yeah.
That's obviously like it's
not gonna happen.
If you were like, I want to go out and buy glasses because Steph's wearing glasses, I can't guarantee that you're gonna get the same like prescription or it's going to work the same on you because even if you did get the same prescription. Have you ever done that where you put like glasses on to like another person?
I've put Stephs on and it's horrible. It's like, how do you live like this?
Because I have other friends that are also short-sighted and sometimes we swap glasses just for like the lulls of it, and then after like a minute we're like, ow, my eyes. I just wanted to really hit home that because Adam's done so much like work within himself in terms of like colours.
Look, I've done a lot of work on myself and I'm feeling very attacked right now.
Well, he's a professional artist and he spends basically like every day looking at like colours, and the average colourblind person won't be staring at like a red, a green, a pink and a grey as often as what
looking at the difference between like phthalo blue and Prussian blue.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that like the average person
they
doesn't need in, like,
they might be just sat at the traffic lights like, is that green? Can I go? You know.
Well, that's the thing. People only use like what they need in like their day-to-day life.
Exactly. Yes.
And obviously we're constantly reviewing like art supplies, which are coming with like 10 different greens, which are like
and they don't label them.
Like
and they give them stupid numbers.
Viridian.
Don't even get me started. Guy, if you're an art company and you're not like naming your colours on your art supplies, do better.
Do better.
Just do better, okay?
And there has been instances where have you ever seen those like they're like a colour test? It's not a colourblind test because it's not like the splotchy one, but where it shows you like 10 different squares of swatches of colour, and it's like one of these is slightly darker in hue or lighter in hue than others.
They have a name. I can't remember the name, but
whenever I've played those tests, Adam's always considerably faster than I am at these, and I think it's because his eyes are a lot faster at picking up on like tones.
Yeah, I guess
whereas
so.
Mine are looking for like, you know, the contrast of like green from red, blue from yellow.
Yeah.
Whereas you can pick up on like much subtler things. You can easily be like, oh, that one's definitely the darker one.
I can't remember the test of it. Yeah, there's a test that they do in opticians and stuff. The one with the blotches and numbers is called the Ishihara test, because I've had that one done a lot of times. There's another one that they do, and I can't remember the name. They tend to come in like this wooden like rectangle, and there's like coloured circles in it, and there's typically like 8 or 10, and you have to arrange those in like tone order as well, but I can't remember the name of that one, but that's under the test as well.
Oh, have you done that one?
Yeah.
Oh.
The Ishihara one was definitely, because I was told I was colourblind when I was like 6 or 7, I think, and they were big on the Ishihara one with all the different numbers and things, so I did that one a lot.
And I don't know if it's like related, but I thought it might be interesting to mention that whenever we're going to like bed on the night and we've turned off like the lights.
Oh my god, yeah.
I can't see like next to anything. Whereas Adam will be like, oh, why you stood in front of this thing, or why are you doing this, or why are you doing... And I'm like, how can you even see me? It's pitch black right now, so I don't know if potentially that's something to do with like how his sight's like
well, they say that
keyed in or something.
They do say that colourblind people can see better in the dark, and I can see in the dark in this place fine, but Steph thinks there's like someone robbing the place and it's just me eating something in the fridge. But I do hope that has helped to clear a few things up, at least from our perspective, because everybody's perspective is going to be different because everybody sees different.
That's
you know?
nature of vision.
That is exactly right. But I like to feel that in the nearly 10 years that we've been making videos on here for you guys now, I like to think that we've always been very honest and very clear. And with all this big like colourblind drama going on and stuff like that, we just wanted to share like our experiences with them and our thoughts, and of course be 100% honest with you guys. So I hope that's cleared anything up. But if you do have any questions about colourblindness or the glasses or whatever that you want us to try and answer, drop us a comment and we'll do our best to answer that for you too.